Spears and Steinberg.
You know what the it is?
Aries and Andy, Jew and the Jerk.
You know it's time to get this work.
The real raw, gutter, uncut coke. No political corrections.
Always sleep.
Being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes.
Subscribe, we lit.
There's levels to this. Before you was sucking on your mama's tit.
Aries Spears don't give a fuck.
We talk about race a lot, racism,
Sexism.
Much love to my loyal bag holders.
Rollers, clip loaders.
We got them in the folders.
The whole world on our shoulders.
Spears and Steinberg.
Yeah.
Hey, it's been a rough ride this morning. You know, it's like anything else. When you get into a groove doing one thing and then you have to switch it up, even if the switch up is something you've done before, it's still some turbulence. So we just, this is your captain speaking, apologizing to the passengers. Hit a little bit rough air. But now we're good. We're at a cruising altitude. Gonna turn off the fasten seatbelt signs and free to move about the cabin and stretch your legs. All right.
Yeah.
How do I say goodbye? We lost somebody from our child. Man, our childhood is flashing before our eyes, isn't it?
I'm telling you, that's why, like, Aries, I'm 10 years older than you. These are people that are like an arm's length away from me.
Dude, fucking look, rest in peace to Carl Weathers, a.k.a. Apollo Creed. We lost Burgess Meredith. We lost Burt Young. Now Carl Weathers.
How old was Carl Weathers? Do you know?
71.
So he wasn't...
Or 74. One of those.
So he wasn't like a young man, but he was...
No, and he was in decent shape for his age.
But Sly's just as old as him, right?
You know he's got to be thinking it.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you.
He's got to be thinking it like, yo, fucking Mick, Paulie, and now fucking Paulo. He's got to be like, yo, I'm next, nigga.
Dude, I mean, there's other people that could go before him, but yeah, you have to consider it, man. Now, these are not, I mean, they're a little older than me, but they're people that I came up with, that I saw as I was growing up, that influenced my life.
Here's what's wild, though. And this is why it's like, dude, if you're Sly, you got to be thinking it. It's like, look at all our action heroes from our era. Bruce Willis has dementia. Sly and Arnold are in their 70s. Fucking Apollo was in his 70s. He's gone. Like, them niggas gotta know they up on deck. Well, hey, Arnold, any day our number gonna be caught. Are you gonna be ready? Absolutely.
Dude, I'm telling you, when I saw it come across, I didn't even know what to think. Like when I saw it, because it's like, right. Again, I'm overstating it. I am overstating it. These are people from my life that I recognize, that I saw, that it's too many of these people now.
Dude, it's, look, we know the reality, you gotta go. We all gotta go. But it wasn't like he died of some sickness or he was in great shape, but he was 74.
76. I just looked him up.
All right, so he was 76.
Yeah,
and by nigga statistics, he beat a lot of shit.
Yeah, but here's the other thing about it. 76. You in Vegas terms, there's still a little bit of money on the table that you left. Do you know what I mean? 76. I mean, I think you want to get to that later 76 is on the turn of the late 70s. But you want to get 78, 79.
I don't know. Yo, once you hit 70, it's like, yo, man, we got a cot for you here in heaven.
Yeah, I mean,
come lay down. Come get used to it.
Hey, they're getting the room ready. But that doesn't mean you want to go spend a lot of time there yet. You wanna live, man. I'm sure when you hit 70, you're gonna go, you know what's a better time to go? 80. But I think when you get to your 80s, unless you're one of those exceptionally healthy people that are just still going, I don't know, man. I see what 90 looks like, and 90 doesn't look very well to me.
But for how he moved, talked,
he was fine.
His faculty, yeah, that's what I'm saying. For 76, he
That's what I'm just saying. There's a little bit of money he left on the table. He should still be playing. He got a few roles left. And so And so to me, that's why it freaks me out a little bit. I'm thinking, it's hard when people that had a spot in your life start disappearing because that your numbers
Your phase is coming up.
right.
Oh God, man! And I told you, man, I met him at the airport. He knew who I was and showed me love. So that was a double whammy for me because I'm just like, nigga, I literally grew up on you.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, this is dude, I already told the story, but I'll never forget coming home with my dad from the theater, and I'm out there with some boxing gloves that he had given me earlier, and I'm in the backyard doing the whole all the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy,
damn, man. Dude, I you know how I am about pain, dude. I went and saw my dentist to get a deep cleaning. Because on the upper right side of my mouth, when I drink cold water or anything cold, a sharp pain shoots in my fucking mouth. So much so I've been using straws, or I'll put my tongue up against the right side of my teeth. So if I drink without a straw, my tongue is a blocker so that the liquid don't hit that part. So anyway, I last week I went to go see what was up. They took x-rays, and the first thing the dentist says is, wow, you've got great teeth. You've never had a cavity. Like you got, and you fucking 48 and you got teeth like ain't never been fucked with. It's like, yeah, thank you. But this pain though, long story short, I got a cavity now.
Oh, wow.
So she goes, well, I got to do a deep cleaning because you haven't had a cleaning in a long time. And, I don't like pain. I'm terrified of needles. So I remember one time I got a cleaning and the dentist was like, I got to numb you up. I said, man, I ain't doing no needle. When they poke you in the gum with that needle, oh, my God. But he gave me what I never knew they had, which was a liquid numbing thing. Now, it's not as potent as the needle, but it got the job done the last time I had it. So I'm like to this chick, hey, and my dentist before was a dude. I got this Persian bitch who is so emotionless and so fucking, you know what I mean? And I joked at the end of it and was like, oh, what's your nationality? She goes, I'm Persian. I said, you sure you're not Russian? Because at the end of it, when she said goodbye, I mimicked the Russian and I was just like, okay, you have a good day now. She was so fucking cold and heartless. And so I go, I'm not fucking with the needle, man. You got to give me the liquid numb. And she said, okay, I'll do it. And she gave it to me. But at one point, it wasn't numbing me up like I thought it would. And when she's digging on this in the gum with that fucking hook thing, Andy, I'm telling you, I'm jerking. I'm making these jerk like I got Tourette's. And she was getting so angry and impatient with me. And she was like, do you want me to, whatever Persian, do you want me to do this? And I said, bitch, yes, but it hurts. It's unpleasant. And she goes, because you keep jerking. I said, well, let me jerk. But it's unpleasant. So I muscled my way through it. And then she goes, well, you got to come back and see the other dentist in the other building because either we're going to have to fill this cavity or we're going to have to pull the tooth. And that appointment is scheduled for Friday. And, dude, I am terrified. Fucking terrified.
Dude, you got to get a needle. You're going to have to get a shot, though, to get it filled.
I know. Oh.
That's where you should get high. You should just smoke a little weed.
Like a gummy or something?
Yeah, just get relaxed. Go in. But the only problem with it sometimes is that you'll hyper-focus on getting the needle.
Right.
So that may not work for you, dude. It only hurts for the first 10 seconds, and then it's pressure.
10 seconds of terror.
Yeah, but then it's pressure. You feel that pressure as they go further and further back. My friend was a dentist, and he said, "I'll take out." I had a wisdom tooth. He goes, "I got it. You don't have to go to the other guy." He goes, "I got it. I do this all the time. I got it." So he's a good dude too, man. He was good to me, and he gets in there, and he's yanking and tugging and I'm like yelling, and he goes, dude, you gotta relax, man. You're gonna scare the other patients. And I go, they need to know what's going on in here.
Right.
But the dentist is it's not pleasant, man.
And then here was the thing, right? So I leave the dentist and I couldn't wait to tell you this story. I almost was so tempted to tell it to you before the pod, but I wanted your reaction to be very natural. So I'm leaving the dentist office, and I get in the elevator, and it's this old white woman, and her white husband, and a Mexican woman, probably in about 30s. All three of them are wearing masks, but the old man and woman look like they're in their 70s, and they're not Carl's Weathers shape. So at one point, I'm in there with him, and she goes to her husband. Guess some people are just walking around without masks. And I go, I don't know if you know it, but COVID's officially over. She goes, if you really want to believe that. So they say. I said, no, actually, it's been declared over for quite some time. And then she goes, well, we're in our 70s, so we have to be extra careful. So finally I go, well, then say that, goddammit. And then she and laughed. Like I'm the asshole when COVID's over.
Well, she is being extra careful. She's wearing a mask. Good for her.
Good for you. So why the fuck are you with the sarcasm and the passive aggression?
Well, you're in California, dude.
Yeah, but bitch, you're covered. I'm not. I don't legally need to be covered.
Nope.
It's declared over. So what the fuck you bitching for?
Well, that's what everybody. That's why I even say it on stage. They're talking about this other variant that's here right now. They want everybody to get the next whatever it is, the new booster. I'm getting another booster. I don't know. You know what? I'm healthy and I've had it twice. I ain't getting a booster. The booster didn't do me good on the two previous times. Well, the one time after I had it, I didn't have any. I didn't have anything the first time I got it. There wasn't anything, but I got it after having the booster. So I'm not getting another booster. I'm healthy. I had it. I'll go through it again if that's what I have to do. But I don't want to get us kicked off the air for saying it because this is really sticky. They don't want you to talk about it. I don't know how we're not supposed to have an opinion about this.
Yeah, you know what, Anthony? It was funny. Anthony told me, remember, prior to Godfrey, our quickest, highest numbers in the podcast was Brother Islam, Riza Islam. And they pulled that.
Yeah, and it wasn't
said we can't put it back.
And it wasn't pro or against the vaccine.
Don't talk about it at all.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You can't even have the conversation. All right.
Right.
That's what I don't understand. I think that they would want us to have the conversation. What else did you get besides Carl? Was there something else besides Carl Weathers that you said you were saying was going on? And your teeth? Your teeth? Carl Weathers?
No, Carl. No, I just, before we had gotten to the main stuff, just wanted to cover a couple little things.
There was something else that I had, but I don't remember what it is right now because there's so much stuff going on right now.
As we begin to discuss what we watched and what we're going to talk about, dude, I saw the preview for it when I got done watching the Netflix thing about We Are the World. This Grisdella thing looks good.
Yeah, it does. It does. It looks real good. We got to watch it.
And what's her name? Sofia Vergara or whatever?
Sofia Vergara. Yeah. So I can't say.
Sofia Spanish.
Yeah, Vergara. It is Vergara.
Yeah, and she's a hot chick. And I think they made her up a little bit to look more.
They aged her.
Yeah.
Hardened her up.
Still, I mean, she's still hot.
Dude, for her.
Grisdella really was.
She's 50-something years old.
Sophia is?
Yeah, and that's a body she has. And bodies that are built. I mean, I'm just being honest. If you have, especially Hispanic women, big boobs, big butt.
Yeah.
It doesn't always hold up.
Most of them, when they age, they turn into grimace.
She's holding up.
She looks like a bell pepper.
Yeah, she looks fantastic. So they had to work on her to make her look like that. But she's
I've seen some Mexican women that look like bell peppers with legs.
Stop on the Mexican women like that. That's not cool. They
them women in San Antonio, them big old women, they love them churros.
They don't. It's not like an apple bottom. It's like a wide bottom. I don't know. It expands on the hips. It doesn't expand behind them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
So it doesn't have that same, but that's not all obviously there's people you can look at and point to and go, that's not all. But yeah, that happens a lot for Hispanic women.
Yeah.
So nothing
but
against nothing against that though. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, and listen, I the first movie I saw about Christella was with Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah.
And that was pretty damn decent. So I'm curious to see what they do with this. This again, it feels like this for who this person was in real life. This should be more of a major theatrical release.
Well, no, because it's a series. It's a mini. It's a series.
Oh, it's a series.
Yeah, it's a limited
I
series.
thought it was one and done.
No, it's a limited series. But and why I want to see it too is because she's been on Modern. So what is it? Modern Family. So she's a comedic actor.
Yeah.
I know she does other things, but this role will really, as a series, really cement her ability, show how fucking an outstanding actor she is, that she's able to pull off.
And it's 80s and it's drugs, so come on, man.
It's gonna
and
be
violence.
I'm excited to see it. That one really looks good. Did you see though it's on Hulu? I think it's on Hulu, or it might be Netflix. I don't know. But they have the Martin Luther King and I think it's a limited series as well. I started to try to watch a bit of it, but I didn't have time this morning, so I just kind of hit it just to see a little.
Was
bit.
it a documentary or some movie shit?
It's a docudrama, I guess, on King and on Malcolm X.
That's right. This is my month, of course.
Yeah, it's at the same time. They have them what's going on parallel at the same time between the two of them and what's happening in their lives. And I saw a little bit of it, but it was King getting married. And there's a scene. I listen. This isn't why I changed it, but it's again. I don't know how much of this is today and how much of this is because they wanted to make it how they made it. But the first scene that I watched because I was doing something, I came back in the room I was trying to just kind of listen to it, see. You want to see the characters, the people that are playing, everybody, and seeing if you're going to get into it. I saw the scene where Coretta King wants to see Martin before the wedding, day of. She's dressed in her dress, and he's all, "You beautiful," and she says, "I can't say it." She's like, "What? I can't say it. I can't say the what is it in the wedding to love and cherish, and then whatever it is that's and obey, or whatever it is in the old way that they used to get
right."
She goes, "I can't say it. I'm not going to say it. This is a partnership." And it goes back and forth, and he's like, "Okay." And I don't know if that's because it's today and we're,
Now you see why I have to get pussy on the side. Because if you're not going to obey and do what Daddy King tells you to do when I need you to do it, then I've got to mess with that black librarian, Miss Shirley Mae, with the big booty.
But
Coretta, I love you, but if you're not going to do what Daddy King say, then Daddy King got to slap some other bitch in the booty.
But that's the first thing. And then I put it. I had to leave. I had to get some stuff done before we were doing the podcast. So I had to leave. But that's where I got. That's where I stopped, and that's as far as I got in. But I was like, oh, okay. So we're doing this, and we're going to do this in this.
Right.
So, but I mean, it might be necessary for the story that they're telling. I don't know. It was interesting that was the first thing I saw, and I was like, okay.
Ready for the meat and potatoes?
Yeah. What are we going to start with first?
Well, like I said, I didn't really have a lot of notes, which is why I'm glad I watched the We Are the World thing. Because, dude, I got 4 notes about the Ben Affleck thing and no notes on the other thing.
Okay, and the other thing, I want to, if we don't have much, let's just go from that real quick and get it over with, if that's cool with you.
Which one?
Del Close.
Del Close. Yeah, it was funny. I was like, yo, I've seen him before in something. And then they showed the clip, Untouchables.
Yeah. And
that's the only place I saw him.
Well, what's really interesting about that is the very first time I saw the Untouchables, I was like, who is this dude? Because I don't if you feel this way or not, the way that he did that, and he goes, "What do you guys think you are? Untouchable?"
Untouchable.
And the way he does it, I was like, who is this guy? He's fucking awesome, because it's a quick scene. And it stood out to me. And then later I found out who he was and who he is in comedy. But I was disappointed that you didn't. I didn't ask you if you enjoyed it.
Uh, you know, for the reason that I'm a comedian and I believe all homework is good homework.
Yeah.
It was homework, and did I love the assignment? No, but it was homework, and as a student of the game, I try to suck up as much knowledge as I can.
Well, see, that's why I was disappointed that you didn't get into it, only because this is your wheelhouse more than mine.
Well, listen, improv should be improv should be a skill every comedian should want to learn. That doesn't mean you can learn it, meaning you can be good at it. You may try to learn it as best you can, and if you just don't have a knack for it, that's you don't have a knack for it. But as anything that is a skill set in the world of comedy that falls under the umbrella of laughter, yeah, I think that you should be able to dabble in all of it.
But the people that...
But I'm said that to say I'm more sketch based than improv.
I know, but that's still the sketch base that you're talking about. A lot of it comes from being able to improv or developing things through improv to get to the sketch. Not necessarily, but can. But the amount of people that are sketch that that we've talked about throughout the podcast and in our lives, just talking to each other, man, that list of people that studied around or under him is a fucking pretty big list of people.
No, listen, and that's why I understood a little bit about how he may have felt a certain way about all the people that he kind of raised and then went on to success, even though he never got any kind of real credit or success on that level.
What do you think you are? Untouchable? That's it. That was his big, that's his big movie. I mean, he's been in other movies, but that was the big, but
it also seemed like he was a little weird for people's taste too.
Well, I think, he was crazy. Let's just be real honest. He was crazy. And the stories that he told, but the reason I have much more on it, I'm not going to waste a bunch of your time, but I did write down a few questions for you because I was like, how does he not?
You can ask him.
All right, let me ask you a few of these. First of all, what did you like about, and I thought this was interesting, and this is why it's funny to me, because they said, at the beginning, they said he's a comedian, and if you don't know...
and not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but just also keep in mind, until he got with that lady, he didn't even really know how to work what he was trying to do and make it a success.
Right.
It was him joining forces with her that gave him some...
Sometimes
she was his text winner.
Elaine May.
Yeah.
And that was funny too, because the guy that brought her in or that was with her at the time is Mike Nichols, who becomes this famous director later in life. And, and so that's another person that learned under this Del Close. But what I thought was interesting, and if you look at it, and if you pay attention to the beginning, I like all the pictures that they're showing, and then you see Tim Meadows, and Tim Meadows goes, yeah, it was, I was around a lot of white people. I mean, people, a lot of white people. That was kind of not just the fact that he was doing this improv thing, but the majority of the people that you saw are white people.
Right.
Do you have any, I mean, one of the most famous dudes, though, that doing improv.
Tim Meadows, very nice guy. I never thought he was that strong on SNL. He wasn't impactful. Like, of course, Eddie Murphy was the greatest black stand-up ever to be on SNL. That's not even debatable. Everybody since Eddie Murphy...
But Tim had a lot of sketches that he put on that he got in. And Tim's a good writer. I mean, I've worked.
His biggest sketch that he was known for was The Ladies' Man, which was a movie.
Yeah.
Which again, had the movie been huge, we'd have got Ladies' Man too. Did we?
No, but he was able to. He did get a movie made. There's a lot of sketches and a lot of guys that never got anything made.
Pat got made, nigga.
Yeah, Pat would be.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love to see Pat today, though. Yeah, I would love to have that redone today.
Oh, you couldn't even do that. Well, maybe you could. Maybe you could.
because it would be a whole different kind of movie. It would be completely different, but it would be the same. You could do the character, but how the interactions would be completely different. But I thought the Tim Meadows that he was saying, what he said was interesting about it. A lot of white people, I was around a lot of white people. The way he said it, and Tim, I worked with him one weekend, and he's funny. I mean, he's a funny comic. What was so that Harold? It was called Harold. The Tennessee Williams thing that grossed me out. I know it had to gross you out when he went to go shake Tennessee Williams' hand, the guy who wrote so many great plays, and he shakes his hand, and the cockroach runs from out of his jacket onto Tennessee Williams' hand, and he grabs it and says, "Oh, I think this is mine." I mean, you have to be crazy. That's a crazy person at that point, isn't it? Already, he's crazy.
Right.
You're not having cockroaches in your jacket when you go out to an event.
Says the fuck who? Hurley! You still got cockroaches crawling out your jackets? Yes, I do, Swan. Because that's they live with us in the trailer park. And they're not roaches. They're our fucking cousins, bitch. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But he's a guy who runs away from home, joins the circus, which is those things that you used to hear people. I don't know if your parents said that, but my parents said, "What are you going to do? Run away and join the circus?" That was something that when you were mad and like I'm going to leave here. So
right.
Did you push a special effect?
No.
Oh,
Why? What happened?
A bunch of balloons just shot out of the.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on right now, dude. My phone is also tripping too.
So he runs away because all kinds of crazy stuff to get him where he is. But then when they talk about one of the reasons that he left was that he saw his dad die. And when you watch it, the story goes that his dad asked him to bring him this glass of water that he left on the counter, and his dad drinks it, and it's battery acid, and his dad dies and committing suicide in front of him. But then at the end of the movie, you find out that that's not true.
Yeah, and he also said that his dad died when he was 10. When he later find out he died when he was 20.
Yeah. So
there was a legend to all of that.
Yeah, he was very aware that he was creating a kind of a legend, like you just said. That's what he was creating. Right. He was a myth about himself.
Right.
I did find I ordered the comic book because I want to see this comic book. That he did. So I ordered it. So I'll know a little bit more about him because I was interested. I knew who he was. I knew.
Dude, listen, I'm watching this, and there's a part of me that goes. And listen, you've recommended things for me to watch that I was happy I watched, and not to say again that I wasn't happy I watched this because to me it's homework, it's comedy. But there was just parts of it where I went, yeah, this feels like Andy.
No, there was a couple of reasons I told you I wanted you to see it. One is because I did think it's kind of more in your wheelhouse than mine. First of all. Even though I knew who he was mainly from some of the people that he's worked with, all the people that he's worked with, and also somebody who, and you've already hit on it, that the part where he says, where they're talking about everybody is blowing up, and the guy who's developed this whole thing and puts people through this is still an outcast in his own genre that he built.
Right.
So it was interesting. It was interesting to me. I thought you would be more.
Well, I mean, again, in terms of, listen, when I'm on stage and I improvise, okay, improv is improv. Maybe. But theater improv, like, give me the mic, give me my surrounding, give me my setting, give me a crowd. I'll improv all day. Now, if you ask me to improv with a troupe, like a theater on stage, I'm lost. I am lost.
Well, okay, and then here's where I don't want to just hit on it as a racial idea, but here when Tim Meadows again says a lot of white people, and then who's
Tim's white.
Okay, I'm not okay, and then we go to okay, and then we'll go to who's the other person that's improv that's black right now,
like in a troupe.
Yeah, famous. I'm just seeing if you know who it is.
Oh, Wayne Brady.
Yeah.
He ain't black either.
Okay, so then this is the thing. This is the thing that I was gonna.
He hates that.
I know he hates that. He did a whole sketch on it. But so here's the thing then. Is this a white art form?
No, it's white dominated.
Okay.
But no. Art is for everybody.
I understand that, but what I'm asking is because it is dominated by white dudes, as Tim said, white dudes, and then you fast forward 20 years, 30 years after Meadows is broken out on SNL, right? and Wayne Brady's there, and he's probably at the top of the game, though. I mean, him. Who's the other guy that I think is that travels around doing it? He also had a TV show, but he's a white dude. Does the why can't I remember this dude's name? Did The Price is Right?
Oh, Drew Carey.
Drew Carey's the other. Those two are probably.
Well, from whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, but those two are probably the biggest commercially, I guess, successful as far as heading that kind of style of long.
Listen, I would have loved it at some point if we had a black Robin Williams. And Robin Williams had to be the king of improvisational comedy and art.
Yeah. To come up with it off the fly and to work.
Yeah.
And coming up with that whole, and that's where Dell is with the yes and. So I just thought it was interesting. I thought you would be more, I thought there might be more to it, but I also understand maybe there isn't.
You know, listen, it just had I don't know. It didn't grab me, but I appreciated it for what it was. I mean, even the history of him in Second City, up at which Canada, they have a respected history when it comes to that, which is Second City.
Yeah. Well, and then, but that's the other part of it. He's in Chicago where this improvisational style is going on. SNL
Right.
comes out. All these guys that worked under him are a big deal, but he gets fired, basically banished to Canada. So he goes to Canada, and now the next group of people come out, and they're huge.
John Candy, Rick Moranis, I forget, Catherine O'Hara.
So is it him? Is it Dell?
Martin Short.
Is it Dell then?
To some degree, yes. Yeah. Dell was like Doc Rivers. Solid coach, but gets passed around a lot. Goes to a lot of different teams.
He can get you there. He can get you to the
He
base.
gets you there.
He can get you to the base of the mountain, but he ain't going to get you to the top.
He gets you to the base of the mountain, and he'll never be up there with the Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, Chuck Daly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Red Auerbach. But,
Solid.
he gets a head nod.
Solid. All right. And then I told you this other movie that
This Ben Affleck movie. Hey, man, let me tell you something, man. I'm 15 minutes into this movie, and I'm going, what the fuck kind of relationship is this that they have?
I knew this was going to be the good part of the movie for
Dude, like this. Hold up, folks. First, the movie is called Deep Water. And in the movie, her name is Ana de Armas.
Yeah,
You said she played Marilyn Monroe.
Yep.
Spanish chick. They're married. They live together. They have a child. But she is throwing that pussy around in his face, in his house. Like he's turned on by this when he's clearly bothered. But he won't divorce her. And he kills two of the motherfuckers that she's fucking.
But you don't know that he's killed him at first.
No. He drowned the dude in the pool.
Yeah, but you don't. That's the middle of the movie. You don't know it at first. And I thought that was.
But he jokingly said the first dude he killed.
Yeah, he tells the guy so that so he wants to scare the guy, and that's how
he wants to scare the guy who his wife is tongue kissing at the party they go to, and he's watching it. And he later invites that guy over to his house for dinner. And again, Ben Affleck is displeased about this shit the whole time. It reminded me of in Boogie Nights when the character played by, what's my man's name from Fargo? He's in Fargo. You're not gonna remember.
No.
But William H. Macy.
Oh yeah.
And his porn star wife is fucking these dudes in front of him. And when he comes in, she's like, "Close the door. I'm getting fucked right now." Like belittles it, emasculates it. So Ben is seeing his girl. She even tells him at one point, he makes me feel how I want to be made to feel without guilt and this and that, and that turns me on. So he tells the dude, "I killed this motherfucker," jokingly to scare him, but we don't know. It feels like he might have killed him, but why not? He kills the other two guys she's fucking and flaunting in his face. But he won't divorce this bitch. And he loves her. What is this?
Dude, I could not figure this movie out to save my life. But all I knew two things that when I called you for this or told you about it. It was Ben Affleck. And I know you like Ben Affleck. And I was like, if this movie doesn't make Aries dislike Ben Affleck a little bit.
You know, I won't say I disliked him. You know why I don't dislike him?
Because he was acting.
Because he killed them niggas. He killed them niggas. But I was disappointed because I'm going, why won't he divorce her? If there was anybody that made you want to hate him and punch him, it was Anna de Armas.
Yeah.
Anna de Armas. This bitch.
Well, but see, I've been trying to figure this movie out since I saw it because it's supposed to be like one of those not 80s, late 80s, like sexual kind of what was the one with the ice pick with Sharon Stone?
Oh, fuck. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, those kind of movies though.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, where you this thriller, but it's sexual in nature and
right.
And it missed because I think that they, first of all, they let you know that he's the killer way too soon.
Couldn't be for me soon enough.
No, it needed to be later because I think that they could have made there's a way to make this movie different where it would have been cool is if that was the everything that happened in the movie took place after, you know, in the beginning of the movie is the very start of the movie is the end of the movie when he rides back on the bicycle.
Right. I figured that out when they showed that same shot.
It would have been great if that would have been everything that we saw happened afterwards. Happened before. I mean, before that. So there's just a way. There was something that was out of sequence. Something wasn't correct.
Listen. When it ended, and it was one of those where I went, "Word." This to me left me unsatisfied. The same way another Ben Affleck movie did, Gone Girl.
Oh, you didn't like Gone Girl?
Did you see Gone Girl?
Yeah.
That ending. What?
But the whole movie timeline on this one doesn't really do it for me. The only Ben Affleck and her have one scene where it's supposed to be pretty hot, and it's not even that hot. I mean, it's edited up so that it looks kind of. But I also read that when they were making this movie, this is when Ben got into, I guess, in his relationship again with
J-Lo.
Yeah, so he's in love with J-Lo, and he has to be on screen with this chick. I don't know if that hurts his performance. Doesn't allow him the room to be Afflecky. There's something.
Let me ask you: is it me, or did it seem like I want to say this chick's name right? Anna de Armas.
Anna de Armas.
She was turned on by the fact that he might have killed these niggas.
See, I think that's the end, though. That's the end. It was the excitement. She needed that excitement of someone, and she was trying to make Ben Affleck love her. Like he wasn't getting him mad. Like he wasn't wanting to like be ferocious. He wasn't trying to, and
she wanted a ferocious motherfucker.
And when that's why I think she does stay. That's why she says at the end, she goes, "Oh, I talked to him." Like throwing that all off so that no one will ever find that. She knows that he killed him because she found the wallet.
The wallet.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there on the steps when he returns, smiling and happy.
Because he did what she wanted. She wanted someone that would kill for her. She needs that. I dated a chick one time that was needy as that. Like if I would have killed somebody, she would have been happy. Now she wasn't cheating like that, but she was a problem. She wanted, like if I was working and I was going to be a half an hour late, she was pissed because she needed so much time.
How much pussy do you think OJ could get if he was on Tinder? Because there's a lot of bitches that if you turned on by a nigga that is like, you know what I mean? OJ's your guy.
I don't know if all the people in OJ's age group know how to work Tinder, but he might find a few young ones that would take that challenge. I don't know. But it was the most confusing movie. But the other reason I thought it would be interesting to talk about this movie is, and the thing that really is irritating, and I can see why this movie got shelved. It was supposed to come out in 2000, so we're in the beginning of the pandemic. there's some scenes in there where it looks like it wasn't edited very well, like they didn't fix they didn't do the.
Wait, we got to backtrack a second. 2000? No,
2020. 2020.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah, you off by 20 years.
Yeah, I said the beginning of the pandemic, but I forgot to put the 20 in.
Oh, okay.
At the beginning of the pandemic, 2020, and it was supposed to come out then, and then you could see some of the film wasn't done right, like it hadn't been cleaned up, and when you're watching it, some of it doesn't look right. To me, it didn't look right, and I saw it, and I was like, okay, that's one thing, but to shelve this movie, to put all these actors in this movie, to put all these people in, and you're going to have this movie that you spent, what do you spend, 6 months, you think, on that movie? Maybe less, maybe 3 months on that movie?
No, probably way less, because the average time for a movie, if it's a big epic movie, might be 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
Like a Titanic.
So this is
this
60 days,
movie,
45, 60 days?
60 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you put all the effort in. You got this. That Ana de Armas. I have a hard time with her name too. She's like a big deal. She was like she's an up and coming big deal. You got Ben Affleck, who's a big deal, and then this movie just sits on the shelf for almost 3 years.
Right.
That's Hollywood. That's just how it works.
You know, it can work that way, but because Ben is a name, and I mean, yeah, she's on the come up. But it ain't like she's Julia Roberts.
No.
But because Ben is who he is, yeah, eventually you can put the product out there, and because of who he is, you can make a return on your investment.
Well, yeah, Hulu bought it. They probably paid for everything that whoever owned it had into it, plus gave him something on the back end.
Listen, here's what got riveting to me. The dude who hired the private detective to follow him because he believes he killed the dude in the pool.
Yeah.
One of her lovers. When Ben Affleck goes back to the gorge to try to, with the stick, dump the body back down in the water, and dude sees the guy's hand pop up, and he starts to take off in his car, and Ben is on his mountain bike trying to catch him. How convenient was it that the guy loses control of the car, flies off the cliff to his death?
It's a Hollywood moment, man. Dude, well, and the other thing is, if he was afraid that guy was going to get him, wouldn't he just run Ben Affleck over when he came out of the woods? He could have just hit him, and then he wouldn't have lost control of the car.
But then that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother movie. So, but it was in this movie is just one of those movies that I guess, and I don't think that this is the script. I think that they cut it down and redid it so that they can make this movie. This does not seem like the movie. You think this?
No,
was the movie?
I think it is, because Hollywood likes to be goofy sometimes, and sometimes in the sake of artistic, endeavors, they overdo shit and just leave you confused.
Yeah, well, this was a very confusing movie. I never seen Ben Affleck play a simp. I can't imagine.
Yeah, but when you say simp, he would have been a simp if
he wasn't killing
kill these guys.
But he
murdered these motherfuckers.
But he's playing the part of a simp, but he's actually the killer.
Right.
I don't know, man. I just thought this was a waste of time. But you talk so highly about Ben Affleck, I was going to go, let's see what Aries is.
You know, that's my boy. You know why?
I wanted to see.
That's a driver who don't have his combat boots in, who thinks he's special fucking fast. The town, nigga.
I just wanted you to defend this dude, and rightfully you're not defending it.
No, I am defending him. I'm disappointed that he was simpy in the way that he stayed with this bitch, but he made up for it by killing these things.
And then, but like he didn't know what she wanted, because then when he, at the very end, he goes, "So do you want the divorce?" And now she wants to be with him.
Goofy bitch. She was the one he should have killed.
That would have made more sense.
I'm telling you, it would have been crazy, but he should have they should have showed a scene where he just pulled a business card out from a drawer, and we don't know who it is. He makes the call, but then it's dong dong. He opens the door, and it's OJ.
Dude, at least if the sexual part of the movie was so hot, like you would go, "Oh, so that's why."
She had great nipples, dude.
Dude, she's hot. Them
shits was thick.
She's hot, dude.
She had thimble nipples.
Her But there were some scenes where, like, when I said it didn't look like they did the process whenever they go back to clean up the film, the digital part, whatever it is.
Mhm.
There's some scenes in there where I was like, that doesn't look right. She doesn't look right, but she's hot.
Yeah.
But they needed a few more passionate scenes to make it worth his while. If that's all he's going to get is once out of the whole movie that we're watching this, some like fucking.
But that again drives the point about him being passionless.
Yeah, but I don't see how you that isn't enough to hold out for.
What, her?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. That pussy is a hell of a narcotic. Believe me, I know, nigga. It is a hell of a narcotic.
You should do that as Eddie Murphy's brother. Now I'm not remembering. Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy?
Yeah, do it as Charlie Murphy when he goes, cocaine. It's a hell of a drug.
That's not Charlie Murphy. That's Rick James.
Yeah, but wasn't he saying? I thought it was Charlie Murphy that said it.
No, that was Rick James.
Yeah, that it was Rick James that said it. But they reenacted in the Chappelle show. They reenact that.
Yeah, but it's Rick James.
James saying it. That's right. But pussy. It's a hell of a drug.
Mm-hmm. All right. There comes a time when you heed a certain call. Dude, you know what's crazy? I had been seeing this clip. And it's funny how people control a narrative that isn't what it is. And this is why I say I hate social media sometimes. Because it's dangerous. People kept showing the clip on, first of all, there's this documentary, big shout out, my Sherry Amor, to my girl Shamor. Because she hit me up on Instagram and was like, yo, there's this Netflix special. What is it called? Do you know?
Yeah. It's
The Greatest Night in Pop or something?
Yeah. Here, I'll pull it.
Where it's about We Are the World and how the coming together of the artists to make We Are the World. And prior to Shamor sending me this, excuse me, all I saw was these constant clips that people kept showing the part where Cyndi Lauper does her part. And they showing Michael's face. First of all, you can't see his eyes. He's got on the fucking glasses. But the people who are showing the clip are laughing hysterically, like somehow Michael Jackson is disgusted at Cyndi Lauper's rendition when it's time for her to do her little solo.
Right.
And I was buying into this clip. But then I watched the fucking doc and I went, man, this is why I hate social media sometimes.
Yep.
You're creating a narrative that wasn't the case.
At all.
But before we go there, it's, you know what it's called?
Greatest Night of Pop? Okay, I'm still pulling it up. Keep going.
It's kind of like the Greatest Night of Pop. It's about that, what I said it is. Dude, this was awesome because, again, I'm nostalgic. I'm an old head. This is my era. But just the ins and outs on how this came together was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called The Greatest Night of Pop.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was fantastic. And I knew the story. This is me. This is me. Right. I'm in college, or I'm not in college, but I'm trying to figure out how to stay in college. And I'm in music. I'm DJing at this time, and this is the moment. So I heard the stories about it.
Right.
And there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff that MTV was talking about, and how they pulled this off. But to see it the way that it was pretty great. And
the first thing
go ahead. No, go ahead.
The first thing that hit me was because they went through the list of all the stars at that time who they brought together, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, boy, in the '80s, them bodies were skinny, wasn't they? Yeah. Oh, them motherfuckers are turned into swollen meat. It's just thick.
Well, and then you have Lionel Richie, whose face right now is fuller and less wrinkles than it was back then. So it was really weird to see that.
He can thank his doctor for that.
Yeah, well, honestly, out of all the face changing things, this is probably one of the best. But it's still it's a little creepy. I'm sorry, it's a little creepy. You don't get younger. It's not the way shit works.
And not only that, you got a head full of just straight black hair, jet black hair.
Yeah. So
first of all, I didn't know that Band-Aid had done this first.
Yeah.
But that was all British
That was
white singers.
Bob Geldof.
Yeah. It's amazing, dude. And this is why I go arrogantly, but yet also confidently. America, as much as, especially when we talk race, we give this country shit, deservedly so. There are times when you sit back and you go, I'm proud to be an American. Yo, we can't be fucked with when it comes to certain shit. Sports, soccer, whatever. Sports, bravado, movies, comedy, and music. We are the biggest, blackest, veiniest, girthiest dick in the room. We are Brian Plummer, Lexington Steele, with a little bit of John Holmes. What's the nigga that looked like a hedgehog in the 70s? Ron Jeremy. We the biggest cocks in the room, nigga.
Well, you said talk about getting swollen. That's double entendre though, but Ron Jeremy, he got fat, just straight up fat.
Yeah. That nigga looked like Cubert with a dick. But I'm just saying, like, when you put our 90 stars together,
yeah,
we're a dream team,
dude.
Of world crisis songs.
Yeah, but
here's what disappointed me. Here's what really disappointed me about this doc. They go, we got Michael Jackson, who is the biggest, baddest motherfucker on the planet. We got Stevie Wonder. And then they list all the people they got, and I go, damn, but you didn't get Prince and you didn't get Madonna. Can you imagine? Because in the 80s, it was Michael, Prince, and Madonna. That right there, that's Magic Michael and Bird.
Yeah, but the Madonna thing. All right. I love Madonna. At that time, I was the DJ playing Lucky Star. That's a song, when we talked about having those intros, it had this beginning intro that was just perfect for mixing. It was great. It was a disco-like song. But she can't sing, dude. At that time, Madonna really couldn't sing.
You don't think she could have done as well as Cyndi Lauper?
Cyndi Lauper had more range in her voice at that time than Madonna does. At that time, Madonna took singing lessons and she got serious about singing for other reasons, not just to be. She could always be the person that she was, a pop star. But they wanted.
Right.
But he even said they wanted Cyndi. Everybody, the chick wanted Madonna, and they're like, no, we want Cyndi.
I think that was a huge mistake. Just if for nothing else, because let's be honest. And what I loved about this doc was how they were saying, look, certain parts of the song, if it's out of your range, don't sing it.
Sing it, yeah. I like that part.
Yeah, be in the chorus. But if it's out of your range, don't sing it. But if it's in your range, have at it. Which is why certain people got solos and certain people didn't. But nonetheless, for cachet purposes.
Star power, yeah.
Madonna, dude.
Yeah, dude, especially at that time, I'm a Madonna fan. I'm not lying. I'm a Madonna fan. I loved it. I love playing it.
Yay!
But also remember, Madonna doesn't really become, well, Lucky Star's out.
Fucking Queasy.
Yeah, no, she does. She's up there where, like, you're right. The cachet of that would have been something else. Prince showing up.
Michael, Prince, and Madonna, dude.
Prince showing up would have been a big deal. But I love how they did go back and they kind of showed that going to the American Music Awards and the competition between Prince and Michael. And then, when we talked about Prince and Michael before on this, and, like I think that Prince deserves more credit than he gets from the general, I think people who know music know who Prince is. I'm saying, like, just overall, Michael is the one that people really go, oh, he was the great. Prince was unbelievable. And so I have this, like, not this underdog thing for Prince. And Prince is not by any way an underdog. Musically, unbelievable. But just a different character. Like, Michael relishes those moments. And Prince is like, there's too many people there. That's not how he,
Well, they said, and I loved it. And I heard this story before the doc. They had the sign above the studio door that said, check your ego at the door.
Right.
And Prince had an ego.
Right.
And it seemed like he was unwilling to check it at the door.
Do you know who else has an ego?
Everybody in that room.
Yeah, but so did Madonna. And I think that, I think those, and it's funny that we're talking about this and you're going, those are the two that would have made the difference. And who's two egos that couldn't be checked? I think are Prince and Madonna.
That's unfortunate.
But I'm being honest.
If Michael Jackson can check his ego, and he is the baddest motherfucker on the planet at that time.
But he came up different. This is the other thing. He came up different. He came up where Smokey Robinson's his idol, and his idol's playing next to him.
I don't care what they say, you better believe it. I don't care what they do.
But he came up a different way, dude. He had respect for the people that came before him.
That is the king of light skinned niggas. He is the Don Dada of light skinned niggas. And back in that day, if you was light skinned, man, them panties slipped off. Light skinned with green eyes. I don't care what they do about loving, being with you, being with you. Okay, I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's a different person. Michael's a different dude. He also came up with his dad, and he wasn't, even though he became the star and he wanted to branch out from the family, he came up in a family dynamic. And that's how he kind of, maybe.
Well, Motown.
Yeah, but that's kind of how we looked at this. This is a group of extraordinary artists, and we're all in this room together. And so none of us are really above the other, but you could still go home that night and go, but that being said, let me ask you this question before I know we could probably talk about this for hours, but I want to ask you this. You heard it. Everybody's going to go see that. I think a lot of people who listen to us will watch the doc. Who was the best singer in the room that night?
Let me tell you something, man.
Wait, before you tell me, I'm going to write down I'm going to.
I know what you're going to say.
I know you don't.
If you don't say who I think you're going to say, this friendship is over.
I just put the initials down. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something, man. When Michael sang, I got goosebumps. Let me tell you, the initials, and I know there are people who roll their fucking eyes. Incidentally, Brandon Coxsacka, he's still with us. You know why? I was reading some of the comments from our last podcast, and I'm telling you, Andy, I know I've said this before. There will be times where I read certain comments, and I don't see the name immediately, and it's disparaging. It hurts my soul that we're being critiqued this brutally. But then I look up, and the moment I see Brandon from the UK, nigga, I throw that shit out the window. Because I go, as to be expected, cocksucker. He wrote, man, the jokes is repetitive. This shit is getting stale. These niggas are washed up. They both washed up. But he's still sucking our dicks, Andy. He is double fisting both of us. Okay.
I know I'm not washed up because I never got washed in the first place. I never got up.
He's washing your nuts with his mouth. Dude, MJ, like my other MJ, I went, Michael Jackson is like Michael Jordan. He's just special. When you put him in a room with other people that does what he does, you see the difference. There is a separation. And I'm down and out. Goosebumps. And then when they followed it up with, and I love Huey Lewis, one of my favorite songs, you know, it's the power of love. When just know when you get called. Oh my God. And then when Cyndi Lauper, and this is why I go that bullshit narrative. I loved in this how when they were all around the piano, when Stevie Wonder was playing, I went, you know how amazing this is? Everybody's got their own unique style, rhythm, cadence, sound. And to be able to hear all these sounds come together, it was an Avengers moment.
Dude.
It was beautiful.
That's why you know that that's the best, because every sound was different. Every sound was different. No one sounded the same. No one sounded the same.
It was so unique. And Bruce Springsteen, and it's funny, I swear to God, I went, this nigga sounds like he eats glass. 2 seconds later, the commentator said it. You know, there are people out there. That nigga sound like he eats sandpaper sandwiches.
Dude.
But still, for what everybody brought, oh, it was so beautiful.
But okay, going to Bruce Springsteen, because there was a point when I'm watching this.
Who did you say you thought I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say Michael, but that's not who I shouldn't say that. He's who I thought was the best, because especially when he goes in there and there's no one else there and he's just getting ready. That was the moment to get me.
Yes.
That's what got me. I was like, oh my God. And he's by himself. No one.
Angelic. His voice is angelic.
And hitting these notes like no problem. I'll tell you though who got me, shocked me, that I forgot was that much of a fucking artist.
Ooh.
And then at the end of the movie, at the end of the doc, makes me even more inspired.
I hope you don't say who I think you're going to say.
I bet I'm going to say it.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Again, if you say who I think you're going to say, this friendship is over.
Go ahead.
So at first you didn't say, you said you agreed it was Michael, so our friendship is intact. Andy, this is very important. Are you going to say Neil Diamond?
No. It was Neil.
Okay.
Was Neil Diamond? He wasn't.
No. Who's the dude?
Oh.
Bob. The Norm Macdonald
Bob.
singing.
Bob.
Not Bob. His name wasn't Bob. It's your guy.
Yeah, Bob.
Neil Young.
No, that wasn't Neil Young. It was Bob.
Bob Dylan?
Yeah,
Dylan?
that was Bob Dylan. No, that's not who I thought. That's not who I thought.
Oh, okay, we're still friends.
No, not at all. Bob Dylan. First of all, I won't even get to it. I'll say what I'm going to say, but since you brought up Bob Dylan up, let's do this. Bob Dylan shouldn't even have been there until wait.
He seems.
Yeah, go ahead. But go ahead.
He seems so out of place.
He did. It's not his people. He's from a different time. He's from the time of maybe more like Smokey, kind of after Ray Charles, not after, but kind of just as Ray Charles, but in different genres. He's in a different time, and he's out of it. He doesn't look like he feels comfortable. He doesn't look like he fits in. And then, but he is at that time of Stevie Wonder too. And he goes to when he said to let's go to the piano, and they went to the piano, and Stevie and him were singing together, and Stevie kind of goes, "This is, come on, and Stevie Wonder is amazing, by the way, throughout this whole thing as you watch it. But then
I have a note about his ass, but go ahead.
But then you get every time you say something, I want to go to a different part of this. This is great, Doc.
No, it is. It really is. That's why I'm excited.
But when and then you see Bob come out after playing with Stevie, after playing at the piano, and it's a different Bob Dylan. And I'm like, okay, he did contribute to it, but it was because of Stevie that he contributed.
It was because of Stevie, but also Quincy Jones.
Yes,
which is why I'm like, this nigga Phil Jackson the shit out of this.
Yeah, without Quincy Jones, this doesn't work.
At the end, I even went, I'm not a Bob Dylan fan at all. But at the end, when they roll the credits and they play the song,
and you hear it,
I went, they made it work.
Not only did they make it work, and then going back to what I was going to say before, because I don't want to lose this, Bruce Springsteen, I was a little embarrassed by when I first heard him sing a little bit, and I was like, he sounds like shit. And yeah, he's supposed to have a rough voice, but as they said, he just sang that night, and they just did that was his last show in Buffalo, and he flew from Buffalo throughout the storm to get to LA so that they could do this. And it's 4:00 in the morning or 4:30 in the morning when he's singing. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you are a little worn out, but when he hits his notes for his part, I'm like, oh, that's right. That's who he is.
Right.
That sounded right. But no, I'm going to tell you who my secret person that I saw, and I went, damn, I forgot that they were that good. Diana Ross.
Who?
Diana Ross.
Yeah.
Dude, when she first sings, everybody else other than Michael wasn't getting their notes out right away. She started, and it was like unbelievable. And then I remembered that's who Michael also looked up to. That's like
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, now I'm
Motown family.
Now I'm getting it. Now I'm understanding it in a different way. But when I saw her, and then at the end of this, when she goes, Diane, you're still here? And she goes, yeah, I just don't want it to end. Because that's a moment that no one's ever going to have again.
And I would think if for no other reason, Prince he would want to be a part of that.
He said he would do
ego.
No, but I think he would have had a hard time. Sometimes checking your ego isn't the part. Sometimes your ego being intimidated. And I think that people, when you're...
you think Prince is intimidated?
I think Prince... No, I don't want to use the word intimidated. Let me try another word. When there's that many people of all kinds of success throughout the years, I think... I don't want to say fan, but you know, you have to be a fan too, right? You have to be a fan. And I don't think that's Prince's area. I don't think he wanted to go into it like that. He didn't know. I would, you know, Huey Lewis talks about it a little bit. I don't know these people and I'm in it, and he's talking about his knees shaking. You're not going to hear Prince talking about his knees shaking, but here we're talking. Huey Lewis has one of the number one albums going on right now, hit after hit off that album, killing it. New guy, and my knees are shaking. That's not Prince's area. He goes, I want to play guitar in another room. And they're like, no, it has to be out here and we're singing.
Ego.
But I think there's something.
Even when they said.
Ego covers up things sometimes.
But when Prince goes, I want to play guitar. And Quincy goes, yeah, but we don't need a guitar on this.
Yeah, but if Quincy was today, would Quincy go, everybody else has a singing. And then there's a moment in there where all of a sudden you just heard a Prince guitar just come in and basically deliver the line, but through the guitar. You don't think would you take that today? To have Prince on it?
Listen, I wouldn't want to close the door to any creative possibility. Like I said, I thought Bob Dylan looked lost. But when you saw the finished product, I went, they made it work.
Yeah. But
so if they could make it work with Prince and a guitar somewhere, okay.
Talking about making it work, though, when you have Willie Nelson, and it works.
Especially, but you know what's great? Contrast.
Yeah.
When you have Willie Nelson's contrast next to Dionne Warwick,
they sounded.
That's the beauty of it.
They sounded like they should be doing albums together.
Right.
It worked, but this is where you have Quincy Jones that has an ear like no one else probably has ever had.
Like if you would have put Paul Simon, Kenny Rogers, and Willie Nelson back to back to back behind each other, I don't think that's as beautiful. But when you got Dionne Warwick and then Willie Nelson, that works.
Here, I have a problem. You brought up a name of someone that, you know, I wouldn't want them not to be on it because it's an iconic song. I know this is probably a horrible way to ask this question. Who on this whole thing do you think you could have lived without?
I'm so glad you asked that question because it's one of my notes. Why the fuck was Dan Aykroyd there?
Well, he sang blues.
Him. That's the answer. Him.
Yeah. He sang blues, but did you see him singing anywhere? I didn't see him singing.
He sings in the chorus.
Yeah, but he's got
headphones on.
Yeah, but he's not. He doesn't have his own song. And he has when the Blues Brothers came out, that was them singing. That was him and Belushi singing a lot of those songs. For real.
Should have gave that motherfucker a harmonica then.
Yeah, probably. But I'll tell you I'll tell you, he's an outstanding singer, and if he wasn't on there, I wouldn't have missed him at all.
Who?
Paul Simon.
Yeah, but again, dude, when you look at how, and that trio was Lionel Richie, Paul Simon, and then Kenny Rogers, it works.
Yeah, but he is lost in it. It sounds so soft and so. It was just too light. It didn't have any. I didn't feel any passion from it. I didn't feel anything.
Which is all the reason why when you get Michael and then Huey Lewis and then Bruce Springsteen, who is the exact opposite of a Willie Nelson, a Paul Simon, a Kenny Loggins.
I like that Kenny Loggins said that I wanted to.
I did too.
And then he goes, I wanted to do. I heard what Bruce did. Right? It was who did it? No, who did it? Someone did something before him, and he goes. So I went more soulful.
Dude, I'm telling you, and this is where you go. I gotta tip my hat to Quincy as a producer. Yo, he Phil Jackson the shit out of that.
Well, and then
because everybody said, listen, I didn't even really know what's her name is. Daryl Hall.
Yeah, Daryl Hall. I didn't even really know. I didn't know who she was. Oh no, you're talking Kim Carnes. Kim Carnes. Kim Carnes.
Yeah, and when I heard her, I went, yo, that was nice.
It was nice, but she's another person. As I look back, she was a moment. It was a moment. It wasn't. I mean, her voice though, right? It works. It works for that. But there's some other voice. Right. There's some other people that might have been. I don't know that. Anybody, when's the last time like you said, you didn't know who Kim Carnes was. I don't think out of everybody, when you go back and watch this, I don't think a lot of people are going to know who Kim Carnes was.
Right.
Al Jarreau fucking everything up.
Oh, like a drink.
That's who Michael was making the face at, by the way.
Right, probably.
I
He
would
should
think
have
so.
been.
Yeah. Well, Michael, it wasn't going to fuck around like that. So yeah, Michael would have been the one to. If I was going to make a face at anybody, that would have been the one. And I like how they had to get him together. But I love watching that when he's just bring another bottle of wine. Let's.
Right, he was celebrating before the track was done.
Yeah, I liked how they addressed it, and they didn't. You know what was nice about this, and I guess you should be this way, especially with considering the people that are on it, and they look back in time fondly. They didn't shit on him. They just said, he was celebrating before he was done. No one shit on him, but they were like, hey, it's 4:00 in the morning. You got to get your shit done.
And incidentally, they didn't leave out of there until 8 in the morning.
Right.
That, again, checking your ego at the door, because I know a lot of them were like, man, fuck this. I'm out. I want to go home. But they did what they needed to do for the greater cause.
Do you think if Sheila E. stays, she gets the Prince, she gets to sing the Prince line instead of Huey Lewis?
And I love when they said, and incidentally, oh my God, Sheila E. in her prime was that bitch, wasn't she? But anyway, she said at one point, yeah, I felt like they were using me because they felt like because of me, the longer I stayed, Prince would eventually come, and I knew he wasn't coming. So she was a little disappointed because she felt like they used her.
They did.
Oh, okay. Well, there it is.
Well,
Which I never understood because it seemed like, honestly, even when she performed her hit song at the AMAs, her talent was the drums.
Yeah.
Singing was secondary.
Well, but that's the thing when you you have a hit right there, you just got off the awards,
right.
You think you're going to get it, and yeah, I think I think that I don't think that they were using her straight up using her, but I think that they wanted to if she was there. The hope that Prince was going to come, yeah. And I don't think it was so much that they thought Prince was going to come because she was there. I think it was because she could talk to Prince and that helped them at least contact with him and work it that way. But I don't think, like you said, Prince wasn't going to show up. He wasn't going to show up because she was there or because she wasn't there. He was either going to show up or not. And I think he made the decision he wasn't showing up.
Right.
So, when she says they used her, but she was using it a little bit to get to where she needed to be on that. Otherwise, she's not in that room.
Yeah.
So,
my last two notes. When Cyndi Lauper when they said Cyndi Lauper's boyfriend almost kept her from doing the song because he didn't think it would be a hit. And when I was watching this, I was laying on my back. I sat up and I went, "Who the fuck is this nigga?" Her boyfriend, not her manager, not her agent. Of course, that's a publicist's wet dream. Your fucking boyfriend. Is he a producer? Has he ever produced a hit? Does he have a record company? Is he even in the music industry? Who is this lame trailer park dick that you are taking that is telling you to not be in a room with all these superstars?
Yeah, that part was ridiculous. That part was ridiculous. Not only that, but it's not just about it being hit. It's to do something for the for the betterment of man.
And yes, that. But also, if I'm your significant other, you're going to be with who, and who's doing what, who's produced what. Yo, spread your wings, baby. Spread your fucking wings. Yeah. What boyfriend is this?
Yeah, that was. I was like, why? Yeah. Why is your boyfriend in your business in the first place unless he's in that business?
Exactly. And my last note, dude, and listen, Stevie Wonder is a musical genius. We know this. But the same way that Quincy Jones went, well, we don't need a guitar from Prince. I'm glad they did it, that Swahili shit. What was Stevie trying to do, man?
That didn't, I love when he said, hey, man, they don't speak that in Ethiopia. Like this is for the famine in Ethiopia, and I like that Michael tried to come up with something that sounded way better, but still wasn't needed. Right.
Right.
But Michael's did sound better.
It did, but it's just like, dude, you are forcing this piece. Swahili.
What? Okay, I got to ask. I got a couple more because I know we were going to go, but I don't want to. There's a few things that we didn't get that I thought there was one treat in there that I thought was that I'm glad that they included in us to get to see this, because I would like to see the tape for all 8 hours, to be honest. Right. But there's something in there that again, there's things that make me want to go buy some music, and Diana Ross was one of them.
I'm shitting you not. I shit you not. I am going. I want to download We Are the World.
Okay, I'm definitely going to do that, but I'm buying some more Diana Ross vinyl. But there's someone else's vinyl that I'm going to be getting because of watching this, and it was Ray Charles. When Ray Charles gets on the piano and plays a different style of We Are the World, and then talk about how he played a bunch of different styles of it. Dude, when he's playing, I'm like, what the fuck is? You don't understand how I look at music, because I don't have musical ability. You have musical ability. I don't have any. And when I see someone,
I have limited music ability. But go ahead.
When I see someone on a piano, and they're looking at that, to me that piano, those sounds don't make any sense to me. How it works, nothing about that makes. And to watch him just get on that piano, and make that music,
yeah, I
was like, what the, dude. I wouldn't be in that room unless I was recording it. I had to have a purpose to be in the room. I'd feel so bad about myself as a human, not being able to even understand what these people are doing. And when people, when they try to hit those notes that we're talking about, trying to put their dude, these. And when Huey Lewis doesn't get his note the way that he wants to, and goes back and does it that second time, and you hear that from this to the next level that he went.
Right.
I mean, that's like, okay, it's the high jump, and you jump in 8 feet, and you hit the bar. And so then they raise it 2 more inches, and he jumps over the bar. I mean, it's like...
When he was in rehearsal, when you just believe, no one you can call. Before he hit the riff, he fucked up.
Right.
And I went, But then, like you said, they raised the bar. And when it was time, when you just believe, no one you can call... The way he hit that shit, and again, coming off of Michael, that's where I'm going. When it was Michael, Huey, and when Cyndi Lauper did her thing in conjunction with, I went, yo, that shit all worked.
And then to be Huey Lewis, and you hear how humble he is. He's a humble dude.
Yeah.
And how nervous he was when he's talking about it. And then they tell you it's Prince's line, right? You're getting Prince's line, and you're following Michael. Dude, just escort me out the building. I'm not going to make it.
And if I'm being honest with you now I'm hearing Prince in that line. It's just believe. It's someone you can call. I don't do a great Prince, but you know how he is. That fucking deadpan monotone, like... Put my material fire, and then when it does cry. However he is, I'm just saying, I don't know that I feel Prince with that line the way I felt Huey.
Well, that's because that's what we know. But let's be fair to Prince. Prince has range in his voice, and he was going to come up with something. It wasn't going to be flat. It was going to be something. And don't forget, it's not Prince. It's not just Prince. You have other people in that room that are going to make that work.
I feel like, I don't know, man. I just feel like his ego might have got in the way of beauty.
Well, and that's again, when you look at the sign, check your ego's at the door. I mean, you know why? Okay, this is it. Comics have a bad rap because we fight. There's a lot of fighting and infighting that goes on. But for us to do what we do, when you show up somewhere and you're going to go up after so-and-so and so-and-so is going to... And there's a lot of fuck you in that too. But every day, you have to bring it... If that's where you're at, that's what you bring to the table. Every night, you got to go up. You got to follow someone and someone has to follow you. You got to bring your balls and throw them on the table. Every fucking night. That's part of the deal. And that's part of what makes comedy different as far as that goes than the other arts, the performing arts. It's different because it works almost like nothing else does. What else do you do? You're going to go out act everybody every night? You're going to go, I mean, you can't have plays. You go to a play, but that's also someone else written interpretation. You're going to get, we're talking about you just coming there with yourself every single night. it's different what we do. So that's interesting. That we have to redeem ourselves every night.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I just, this was a great watch. And it's funny because when I watched the Ben Affleck movie, and I'm like, damn, I only got like 5 notes. And then I watched the Del Close doc, and I went, I got nothing. But I kind of knew, based on it being comedy, I was going to be able to ride your coattails in some of the conversation. So I knew that there was going to be some legs. But the minute this thing came on, I went, oh, this is the meat and potatoes right here. If whatever my shortcomings are for Del Close and the Ben Affleck thing, between whatever little bit I add, I know what you're gonna add. The appetizer before the meal, the little shit. But this right here is the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
This is the filler.
This was. And I was glad I watched it. I stayed up and watched it. And I thought, I'll watch like half of it and I'll watch the rest of it in the morning. Nah, there was no way I was going to.
Oh, this was fucking fantastic.
It's a great watch. And if you don't watch it, you're killing me because it's just too easy to watch and it's too good. And this isn't about anybody's life. This isn't about what anybody's done. This is about
the process.
Yeah. And the best people at that time doing it. So
and this is why I say again, as a comedian, any homework assignment, be it comedy, I'm game. And even though this wasn't comedy, it's still about creativity. It's still about a process.
Yeah.
And I can never get enough about that kind of shit because it blows me away to know how they put this together, how they made it work.
And
the way it works.
And it would never happen now because now everybody.
You don't think so?
No, because everybody would record their shit at their home studio and they would send it in and then other people would have to edit it together and that's how it would go.
Right.
It would never happen this way. Maybe a few people.
It's sex with a plastic doll. This is what I'm telling you, man. My era was the shit, y'all. Me and Andy's era, everything was done naturally. Homegrown. A real woman. Real pubic hairs. 70s pubic hairs.
You got to move that out of the way.
Women with fucking hair under the armpits. We had the last female savages.
It is definitely different.
This shit today is garbage. It's moist. It's fast food. It's microwave.
So when do you think that the rap community is going to come out with something for saving the world?
Shit, based off today's talent and technology, ain't gonna happen.
All right,
ain't gonna happen.
I want to go back.
Oh, and let me actually, I'm glad you mentioned that. Again, more proof that our era was the shit. We did do it though, but it wasn't about saving the world. It was about saving each other.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
You had it for self-destruction.
Yeah.
Self-destruction and the West Coast version. All in the same game.
Yeah.
And incidentally, self-destruction was the hotter between the two. Now, I know y'all are going to say I'm being New York biased because there was East Coast versus West Coast. And it wasn't a versus, wasn't a battle. I'm just saying, man, that Heavy D, self-destruction, the Heavy D and the Public Enemy, that killed it. Them 2 verses alone fucking killed it. I really didn't like West Coast Gang, All in the Same Gang, until my man Shot G from Humpty. When that little beat switch happened, that was fire.
There's another rest in peace, though.
Man, I'm hot, nigga. My knickers is on fire.
All right, I got to ask you this, and this goes back to the Del Close thing. Are you good with where we're leaving off on?
Yeah.
So I kind of want to end the podcast with asking you this question though. At the end of for Mad Men Only, which is the Del Close documentary, it ends with him basically dying. He's going to check out, right? He's in the hospital.
Yeah.
What do you think about that end with all the people?
I'm gonna tell you what was fucked up is when they talk about the guy that actually ran Second City, Bernie.
Yeah.
And they said they thought Del was checking out because he started like leaning and turns out Bernie was stepping on his air tube, his oxygen tube. Yeah. And then when he gets off, fucking Del comes back to life and he says, "It's still an art form" to Bernie. And Bernie goes, "It's an art form for tonight."
Yeah.
Like, you motherfucker. Like, he still failed to acknowledge, he didn't want to acknowledge that improv was an art form.
I think that he acknowledged it. They were just having their banter, is what I think that was.
Yeah, but it was kind of like a pity moment. I'll give it to you tonight
Night.
because it's your night and you're dying.
But what did you think about everybody coming there for him? I mean, if you're going to go
Oh,
out,
it's beautiful.
do you want to
It's
go out by
beautiful.
yourself with your family, or do you want your bigger outside of your house family to be there for you?
Whoever shows you love.
Because that was an exceptional moment because he felt so left behind.
Yeah.
But in the moment when you're going about ready to take that next step,
Yeah.
and everybody comes back, are you left behind?
It was a beautiful moment, you know?
Yeah.
And what was even more crazy is that he kept talking in the past tense, like he knew.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
And he you know, he bravely stared it in the face and went, "It is what it is."
Well, and he kept smoking even when he found out he had emphysema.
Right. Well, at that point, you know,
What are you going to do, right?
go out on your terms.
Is it going to? Am I going to get better if I stop smoking now? No. All right. Well, then
Right.
You want me to give out some dates? What do you want? Where we're at?
Yeah, yeah. Folks, if you don't know already, The Greatest Night, what is it called again? I already deleted it. It's on Netflix.
Greatest Night in Pop. Greatest Night
The
of
Greatest
Pop.
Night in Pop on Netflix. It's fucking. If you my age, Andy's age, older, whatever, this is us. It's a great watch. Also, the other movie, Deep Water, Ben Affleck, available on Hulu, and Del Close.
Hulu.
And
it's called for Mad Men Only. Del Close Dog.
Yeah, so if you're into comedy, you want to do your creative homework and know about the art of improv, check that out.
Yeah, like the SNL people, all the SNL alum, those people, all are part of that. Hey, by any chance, you didn't check out Loudermilk though, did you?
No, not yet.
Okay,
No.
We'll talk about that more. But the only reason I bring that up is because your boy's in that.
Will Sasso.
Yeah, and plays the second main character. So,
well, I'll check that out. But we should also definitely check out Grizdella.
Yeah, definitely going to do that.
Maybe in Buffalo we can talk about Grizdella.
That'd be cool to talk about both of those because they're both series. So,
yeah,
Loudermilk has been out. It was out a long time ago, but I never really got in. I didn't get into it. I didn't know about it really until.
And
recently.
that's my man, the dude, the lead of it is Berger from Sex and the City.
Yeah. What's his name? Fuck. Here, I'll tell you. I got it real quick. I got it real quick. I think I do.
When you just believe, there's no way you can call.
And of course, I think I have it, and then I don't. It's right here. Ron Livingston. That's his name.
Yes.
Okay. Back to this. Listen, we are going to be where are we? We're going to be in guys. Next, when you're listening to this, we're going to be that Thursday. You listen to this Wednesday. The next day, tomorrow, we're going to be February 15th through the 18th. We're going to be at the Helium in Buffalo, New York. Incidentally, where Bruce Springsteen finished up his set before he went to go do "We Are the World."
Hear my people dying.
Did you just eat some glass?
Yeah. Matter of fact, the vodka I'm drinking right now ain't even ice. It's glass.
It's glass. It's little pieces of glass.
Tito's vodka with sugar-free Red Bull and glass. Go ahead.
February 23rd to the 24th, we're going to be at the Funny Bone in Albany. March 9th, here we go, guys. Michigan, Holland Civic Center. You've been asking where we are. I see some of you got some tickets. Get over there. We got to fill this the Civic Center up, man, because it's one night only.
One night.
That's it. So get it.
That's it.
March 9th, Holland Civic Center. March 15th through the 16th, Cincinnati Funny Bone in Liberty Township. We're back. That's March 15th through the 16th. We'll be flying into the Kentucky Cincinnati airport, driving that full fucking almost hour to get to the club in the fucking cold. So come out and see us. That's a cool club, though. Hopefully no one has any kind of passes out and they don't have to call any ambulances this time. March 22nd through the 23rd, we'll be at the Funny Bone in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Always fun out there. March 29th through the 31st, Funny Bone in Columbus, Ohio. And then April 5th, we'll be at the Parker in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That's one night only at the Parker. Get that. Let's fill that up. Let's come on out and see us. We haven't been in Fort Lauderdale in, dude, almost like 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So get your seats and let's see you. April 11th, it's the beginning of the Canadian tour. We'll be at River Cree in Enoch, Alberta, Canada. 12th, that would be the following day. We're going to be at the Grey Eagle in Calgary. Listen, man, all these dates in Canada are one night only, so get your tickets. There's no second option. Like, it's not the next day unless you're going to come to a different city. So that's April 12th, Grey Eagle in Calgary. April 13th through the 14th, we come back to the States. We'll be at Funny Bone in Syracuse. April 15th, we're back in Canada. We're at Toronto at the Danforth Music Hall. That is April 15th. April 19th to the 21st, we come back. We're going to be in Cleveland at the Improv. Aries?
Just a bit outside.
Aries, do you need anything? April 27th, we're going to be at Bronson Center in Ottawa. April 28th, we'll be at the Olympia at Montreal. And April 30th, we're going to be at Bella Rose in Halifax, Nova Scotia. May 2nd through the 5th, we're going to be at Helium in Portland, Oregon. May 9th, we're at Meyer Theater in Green Bay. Guys, that's one night again. Please get your tickets. Come on out. See us. May 11th, very excited to be at the Wilbur. I've heard nothing but amazing things about being at the Wilbur. Aries obviously has been there. I've never been there. Excited. Anybody?
It's fucking amazing, kid.
Yeah,
you know, they put all the niggas in the coons up in the balcony. So all the white people are in the front. So it's just like it used to be when America was great. I know you can tell who I'm voting for. Name's Bobby Patterson, by the way.
So we'll be at the Wilbur. May 11th. Bobby Patterson will probably be there too.
Oh, you better fucking believe it, kid. I'll be hanging out in Andy's dressing room because, you know, he's not a spook.
Do they have dressing rooms there?
Yeah, well, they do. They got the colored and they got the white people. Yeah, I mean, you know.
We should have a door that does say Bobby Patterson on it, just for...
Absolutely, kid. And not that I don't like Aries. It's just that, you know, if I want to be spooked, I'll hang out with the spook.
All right, Mr. Patterson. May the 18th, we're going to be in the
Madison Square Garden.
Let's see, May 24th to the 26th, we're at Funny Bone in Richmond, Virginia. And I want to get to this one date coming up here. May 30th through June 2nd, we're back. One of the funnest comedy clubs in the country. Off the Hook Comedy Club in Naples, Florida. April.
Oh, God.
Dude, listen, it's hard to laugh in Naples when nothing's wrong with your life. It's really hard. What do you make fun of? No, there is no tattoos of the Naples area code in anyone's life out there, all right? But the week that I wanted to say, June, we're back here. We've almost been a year and a half since we've been out there. June 13th to the 16th, we're going to be at Cap City and Austin, Texas. I'm very excited about getting back out there. So June 13th to the 16th, Cap City. And then followed by real quick, because we liked it last time we were there. It was a treat. June 21st to the 22nd, we'll be at the Funny Bone in Omaha.
There it is.
All right, guys. So get your tickets. A lot of those are one-nighters. Don't write in going, hey, when are you going to be here after we left 24 hours earlier because you didn't pay attention. Get those tickets. Canadian folks, man, we're looking forward to coming out and seeing you. Please go out and get those tickets. Let us know that let Aries know that we have sold these tickets, man.
I saw a funny meme where a girl was making this crazy-looking face. And the caption was the kind of face that a Canadian makes when she sees you jacking your dick off with a pancake and maple syrup.
Okay.
You get it? Because Canada's known for maple syrup.
Yeah.
So you're jacking your dick, you got your dick in a pancake flap, and the maple syrup is the lubricant. My question is, when you're done, do you eat the pancake?
No, someone else eats that pancake.
No, but it's your dick, so what's the harm?
Yeah, not eating it.
Okay. To eat or not to eat is the question. That's a show.
I guess that's a show.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. If you'd like to know who's responsible for this shit, it was hosted by Ari Spears and Andy Steinberg, produced by Steve Merrick and Anthony Holmes, executive producer, Big Papa, Robert Kelly, and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit SpearsburgPod.com.